Welcome everybody back to Boost Emotion, guys. And today, yes, you guys are really excited about this. The new Nismo Z GT4 is now released. Guys, you already know what to do. Hit that intro. Welcome everybody back to Boost Emotion, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Thank you. Welcome everybody back. Welcome everybody back to the channel. First thing, shout out to my Boost Emotion family. I know you guys already hit the like. Thank you, and I really appreciate the time. Now, anyone who's new to this Boost Emotion channel, definitely watch this content and watch some other contents. I do report the automotive news, and I do modify a couple of cars I have owned in the past. So definitely tap in with some of those older videos. But anyways, hopefully I gained your like and your subscribe. But guys, let's go. Let's jump right into it. So we're gonna have a couple articles up here, but I only one article. I'm gonna take this one from the Drive because they're more poor performance oriented. So for anyone who's watching, you're like, what the hell, Boost? What is the GT4 series? I don't understand it. Long story short, there's always different type of restrictive racing where you want to make competition pretty much everyone at the same level. So the GT4 is pretty much, I would say, you'll take a street going car and then you'll modify it to certain horsepower limits. This is not a 700 horsepower race. I believe they keep this under 500, 450 to 500 horsepower. So depending on the specific car that you enter, that's your horsepower limits. But also on top of that, there has to be a certain weight that the car must have, certain tires that they all must use, and pretty much they remove some of the creature comfort. So this is pretty much like a take a road going car and pretty much make it more track focused and keep the horsepower range very similar. So it just makes competition really good. Also, on top of that, the drivers are not like the top tier drivers out there in the world. They want to keep the drivers more amateur, less seasoned. So it just makes for good racing and good watching. But, anyways, Nissan has now developed the GT4. Excuse me, guys. Sorry about that. The GT4 pretty much is our Nissan Z, right? Most of you guys are excited about this because when they make cars for the GT4 series, some of this stuff that they're testing can end up down on the performance line of the specific car. So in this case, if they make there's a Nismo GT4, some of this stuff could actually be used on, let's say, when they do decide to come out with the new Nismo Z. So hey guys, let's go through the quick article. Let's talk about it. So on the Drive, of course, they show this car. The GT4 are specifically prepared track cars based on a regular production vehicles. They're usually factory-built race versions of existing sports cars, stripped and tuned for competition use. The responsibility to transform a Nissan Z into such vehicle landed in Nismo's feet, and Nissan's tuning house has not disappointed. Details are scat for now, pretty much not releasing too much information. But what we're being told is plenty of excitement enough. The Z GT4 has a tuned version of the VR30. Pretty much, you guys already know this is a 400 horsepower version. We've been dealing with Q50s, Q60s for a while. Anyone who's new to the Nissan Z, definitely tap in with the channel. Hit the subscribe button. We know the performance level of the VR30s already, so we got all the information. But anyways, GT4s are usually somewhere in the 500 horsepower range, so a bump in output is certainly on the cards. The chassis suspension reportedly has been optimized for track use. Plus, as with any great GT racing car, there's a big wing and plenty of functional aero parts. Also, I want to add here is GT3 is usually a lot faster and they have a little bit more aero, definitely more on the racing end, and they have different type of power plants too that can be included. This same thing for GT4 too. Nissan claims the Aero Pack has been designed to the limit of the regulations when it comes to GT4 competition. The interior has been similar prep for racing, though Nissan hasn't showed us inside just yet. Naturally, the full cage and race seat racy fitted competition. There's also likely a proper racing wheel with plenty of controls, blah, blah, blah. The Z GT4 has already been seen in public and made appearance at the test entry of Fuji 24 hours back in July. Also run several other events, blah, 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 blah. And full details will be released November at SEMA. Now, if you guys remember that video from earlier this year where we saw like a clapped out Z, like it had mesh matching panels blowing down the track and had a wing? Well, that's what we were looking at. It was that car. So that makes the long story very freaking short here. GT Racing Series is targeted at keen amateurs with tight regulations on vehicles, drivers, and equipment to keep things competitive. If you've always want to race a Z car, it's hard to imagine a better way to get involved than a factory built, race ready example. Delivery start in 2023 and orders seem before that. So, yeah, guys, if you want to have Nissan build you one, yes, you can definitely go look into getting one. Also in here, I'm not gonna really use so much of the YouTube video, but I do want to show you guys a couple of things that I noticed because they pretty much breaking the car down. Take a look. They strip out everything. I take everything out this car and they pretty much run the harness. They go through every little thing to remove the unnecessary weight because it's still a street going car. They use the same chassis, but they try to find ways to optimize everything on this car. Take a look. Is that the rear subframe with the rear differential? That's where the engine sits. Let me see here. We got some photos of the engine. Look how clean this engine is. I always loved how the engine is. But we could also see the turbo there. You guys see the turbo? Like, we already know we're very familiar with these turbos. And from what was told to us from Z1 Motorsports, they said that the turbo is slightly bigger. Haven't verified yet. We're waiting for a couple of us to get hands on it, but haven't verified it yet. Nothing out here really stands out to me personally yet. The guys, and hopefully they probably fixed the belt slipping issue and popping issue too. Just want to put that out there. Uh, Let me just see. Bear with me, guys. They're mating the transmission to the motor itself. Once again, you can see a downpipe there with the oxygen sensor. Once again, another heat shield over the turbo. This everything looks very similar. Nothing's really different here because once again, they use a road going version of the motor. That's pretty much it. And they just show some photos of the under chassis and the different tires that they all have. Well, the same tires they all have to wear because they have to make competition very similar. And lastly, I don't see anything else here I would really want to look at, but here's something to look at. Look at their intake system. I don't know if this really is their intake system. That's actually super cool. I actually like how that look. That's super cool. And is that I would assume well, probably doesn't run off of mass airflows. If it does, damn, that's getting just straight. It's a race car, so it probably runs off of map sensors, I would assume. They tune it off of that, but no, but they also have the same hose here. So there's probably a front intercooler here, air to air, because they have these pipes going to the front and then they have these two massive ones going back to the throttle body. So the car actually might be air to air from what I see here. So yeah, it looks like it could just be fully air to air. They're not really showing us too much, but nonetheless, shoot, wouldn't that be kind of crazy, guys? That the race version is actually air to air, but they give the consumer version, they give us the air to water. They don't even follow their own recipe. I don't know. But nonetheless, hopefully I don't want to make this video too dragged out. But shout out to these songs for definitely getting into the GT4. We knew this was gonna happen regardless. Everyone knew this was gonna happen. Period. It's just that as a regular consumer, regular person, this is good because now there's more time and energy and money going into the racing series, which usually means that certain little things will trickle down to the Nissan Nismo Z. So we know it ain't gonna be 400 horsepower, maybe 450, maybe 475, better cooling. We'll never know. We gotta wait and see what they actually choose to do with the new Nissan Z Nismo. But outside that, guys, you have a good morning, good afternoon, good night. Thank you for tapping in with your boy Boost. Hopefully, comment below if I was wrong in anything or just add some information. I really would appreciate that. And hopefully, if you guys enjoyed this video, you hit the subscribe button. Outside of that, thank you. I appreciate it. You guys have a good day. Thank you everybody for watching. Do appreciate you guys. Love you guys very much. You can also check out the 2 links I posted for some of my other videos. Also on top of that, if you want to purchase some Boost in Motion merch, definitely check the link that I posted also. And finally, if you've been watching all my videos and you enjoy them, please hit the link to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.